Hello and welcome to my failed travel vlog of sorts. So, I went on spring break last week. I went to Guyana and this is Dulles. And check out this fancy transition that I actually remember to do. And boom, run away from Dulles to Panama. So, this was amid the virus epidemic thing that was going on now. You would know the name, but actually I could see the name. Yeah, the coronavirus situation. So I'm going down 2 days after we had our first case in Guyana. Lady from, I think it was New York, New York or Miami, came down. Entire family. Well, I'm not gonna talk the people them story, but I'm going down in the midst of all of this nonsense. So this is the flight from Panama to Guyana now, and this flight was miserable. Thing about Panama is that there's always a full plane going down to Guyana, but it's not full of Guyanese. It's a bunch of Haitian people, and them people they don't know how to speak, read or write English. So miserable flight all around. I got the window seat, a Guyanese girl got an aisle seat, and a Haitian man was in the middle. Well, he coughing in his fist, not in his hand, he coughing in his fist. And I watching this man, the Guyanese lady in the aisle, she watching the man. And then after he coughed in his fist, man wipe his face, like John Cena, you can't see me, but he was actually wiping his face. I was like, yo, no, it's not the time to be nasty. So I thinking to myself, alright, if I ain't get it, I definitely get it now. And this was a long ass flight down to Guyana. And this man, not only he coughing and wiping his hand, on his face, but since he's in the middle, he's taking both of the armrests, and he elbow boring into me and the Guyanese lady on the aisle, in the aisle seat. So I braced up on the window and I tried to take a nap. Alright, and I think this is coming into Guyana now. It's still dark. At this time, they give you immigration forms to fill out, and then they start saying, give you the immigration forms to fill out. And of course, the Haitians, they can't read or write English, so they turn and ask you to help them fill out the form. And I tell the man next to me, he gave me his paper to fill out. I like, no, immigration will help you. And I tell the Guyanese lady on the aisle seat, no, don't help them, the immigration help them, because he be coughing in the hand, and I ain't particularly want to be touching he. I already had to sit down next to he with his elbows digging into my sides. I ain't touching no immigration. I ain't fill up no immigration form for he. So clear customs. They ask me where I've been. They do a little screening where you been, and you have to give name, address, phone number, and contact information, and then I left. Guy was nice. Leaving the airport, he just really wonder, wow, this is the pass for roads in Guyana. This is Independence Arch, and yeah. So in Guyana, I had nothing really to do. I brought my DSLR, my Canon SL2, and I was taking pictures of birds. Holy! This audio you're hearing is what the birds actually sound like, but this wasn't recorded on this spring break trip. This audio was recorded last year when I went to Guyana for spring break, and that's how I know on the Copa flights from Panama to Guyana, that's that them Haitian people just want help with the immigration documents. Yes, this vlog, these photos, I learned something really important when taking pictures of birds, especially with like a longer lens. Close down your aperture so you don't get that much of a depth of field. Because with this lens, I was going all the way up to 300 millimeters, and though you get a super huge depth of field there, and a lot of these photos I took were actually out of focus, so I was very disappointed about that. Okay, and I also practiced using exposure compensation because by taking photos of my puppy, well, not my puppy, my dad's puppy, well, our puppy I suppose. So when I expose for the dog, the background is all blurry. When I expose for the background, the dog is super dark. So I was practicing with that, and I was practicing using my flash and all that. Yes, and these are just a lot more photos of the kiskadis. These kiskadis, they sound nice, but like every morning, this is what I wake up to. So the kiskadis, they're most active in the mornings and like around 5-6 o'clock in the night. They don't be out during the day because the place hot. Alright, and these are some selfies of me I took. I used my phone as a remote shutter so I could check the framing and I could check the shots. And looking at these photos, I need to get some bigger arms. Like my chest area is my chest and torso is kind of barrel shaped, and I need bigger arms. So that's something I should work on. Again, more out of focus photos. This bird was right in front of me, and the photo's still out of focus. Anyway, okay, so for 2 days I was home most of the time. Then I went out later to drink with some GT beer with my dad, and that's the local beer. It's relatively new to me. I've never had it before. It first tastes like initially it tastes like shandy, then it goes down kind of bitter like actual beer. So this is on Regent Street, which is like the busiest street in Georgetown. And tell me if you can tell what that is. And this photo is zooming in very slowly. I probably have to change that. But yep, that is actually a crab in the middle of the city on the street at night. So yeah, weird stuff. Even for Guyanese standards, this is kind of strange. Alright, so this is the next day. So we had recently heard that Guyana was closing their airports at midnight. So for 2 weeks to prevent people with the virus coming in. But a lady already came in. A family came in. A lady died. They held a funeral, and you go up, you're like, oh my gosh, she died, and you give you sympathy and whatnot, and people were like, a lot of people would have been exposed there. And apparently the lady who died, her sister went into work, and people knew that her sister was she was exposed, so the people didn't want to work with her, and her supervisor put her to work at a customer facing position. So that is something. So right now we are going to buy my ticket to go back to Guyana, to go back to the States the next day. Now this really put a wrench in things. I didn't want to go on Lime with my friends. I wanted to make plans with a former girlfriend of mine. That fell through. I wanted to do like more photography vlogging. That fell through. I actually wanted to do a river tour. That fell through. I had my GoPro, which is what I'm recording here, and I had my camera so I could take photos, record it with my GoPro, and do a voiceover, because the GoPro audio is kind of shit. Alright, we made a stop somewhere, and now we're here. Oh yeah, I don't think we went. Yeah, we're still on our way to get the to buy the ticket. And I guess you're just gonna watch some more driving around in Georgetown. Hey, what's my finger doing there? Alright. Alright, and this is St. George's Cathedral. You know, this is one of the Ghana's famous landmarks. This is on our money and pretty much everything that is Ghana. Either you'll see this building here, Starbrook Market, or the Kiter Falls. I actually wanted to take some photos here, you know, walk around and take a lot of landscape photos with some friends or by myself. Most likely with friends because, you know, Ghanaian people either the fast or they're watching you for thief. So most likely with friends, and you know that and all fell true. So very vexed with that. But anyway, that's St. George's Cathedral there. Wait, here we're not going to buy the ticket. We were going for something else. And then this is after we bought the ticket. This is, I don't know what street this is, but on your left here. This is a big store. This is like Ghana's version of Best Buy. And see, the country already started to shut down. Well, not only because of the coronavirus, but you know, we got a little bit of political instability. You know how third worlders do. A little bit of political instability, nothing much. So watch, street practically empty. Even though you are seeing people here, you know, for this time of day, this particular day and this time of day, this is practically empty. So you know, Ghana gets a little double dose of bad luck here. We got coronavirus lockdown and political instability lockdown. So happy 2020, y'all. Little bit late to wish y'all happy 2020, but damn. Yep. So anyway, practically empty streets. So nothing to do, no reason to lime on the road. Let me just catch a bus and go home. Watch transition. Alright, this is later that night. So I got the ticket for the next day and I will be going via Barbados, then North Carolina, then Dulles. So here we are at the KFC buying 2 Zinger sandwiches for me because I will have a 5-hour layover in Barbados, and then from Barbados to North Carolina is another 5 hours, and I went from Barbados to North Carolina on American Airlines. American Airlines just don't feed you, so I definitely got my food. So I definitely need my food to go from Barbados to North Carolina. And I am buying no food inside the airport in Barbados. Alright, so this is 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, heading to the airport, going to Barbados. And this is the airport closer to Georgetown called Eugene F. Correa International Airport, or Ogle International, because the area is Ogle. And this is actually the first time I'm taking an international flight from this particular airport. I usually leave from Chedijagan International, but it's the first time I'm going on an international flight from here. Roraima Airways. Again, it's always amazing what passes as roads in Ghana. But, you know, this is my home, this is what I know. So until I come America, then I turn fancy and bougie. Alright. That is the Beechcraft 900D, and I'm not going with that, I'm going with this ATR by Liat. Fun fact, that door in the front there, that is where your baggage goes in. Again, beautiful Beechcraft. But this is the airplane I'm going into. ATR, beautiful aircraft. Inside is not that small. Alright, this is the takeoff from Ogle. And this airplane flies smooth. Oh my gosh. And lift off. Again, this first time going on an international flight from this airport. And looking out, I mean, never really had this view. I mean, I have left Ogle in a while, and the departure flight, And the departure flight path is the same for international and domestic flights, but never recorded it in such high quality before. Don't worry, that's not the extent of civilization in Guyana. At times it might feel like that, like pretty much everybody's on the coast, but nope, there's actually more to my left. Man, this was a really good shot. You're seeing the warping of the windows towards the left edge of the window, the warping of the glass. Alright, and we're over water now. Those were mangroves. Those are natural sea defense. And we have low tide. So you see all of that darker area there? That's mud. And the rest of that is the Atlantic Ocean. So the mud extends like a kilometer offshore. And then we have the Atlantic. Now, for various reasons, which I don't know offhand, Guyana does not have blue water like the like Caribbean islands. I guess it's because the brown water comes out from the Amazon and something. I don't know. But anyway, this is the Great Escape. Alright, and this is the approach into Barbados. Watch all of that beautiful blue water. The lighter colored water is shallower than the darker colored water. That's because the sunlight is reflecting off of the sand at the bottom there. Right? I'm guessing the tropics is experiencing a dry season, because Guyana is experiencing dry season, and looking at this grass from above, everything is kind of dry. Couple patches of green. There's somebody garden, and I could speculate that is probably pak choy they're growing there, either pak choy or lettuce. I don't know how I could tell from an airplane, but I have a sneaky feeling them people growing pak choy. I can't even show you exactly where I saw the people garden, but I end up the pak choy from an airplane. I know it's who, so I can't go for none. Right, we landing. See, place dry. All of that is like very, very dry. And a smooth touchdown. ATR is a turboprop, so we activate our reverse thrust. Then we slow down and go to our gate. Alright, this is coming out of the ATR. And we're on the tarmac. Now when I left Guyana and migrated to the States about 4 years ago, this is pretty much how we enter the airplane. We walk on the tarmac. Guyana has jetways now, so we gone up in life. Barbados, not so much. But I can't bad talk Barbados. I ain't bad talking Barbados or anything. Just saying. Cause Barbados will say, alright, well, you're talking bad but we airport. How y'all doing with tourism? I didn't gotta shut my mouth and stay in my car now. Cause Barbados is like tourism destination for the Caribbean. Alright, this is outside of the airport. Then I had to come outside, turn right. My check-in wasn't in for another 2 hours or so. So I just walk, sit down a little bit, and then wait for check-in. Oh yeah, I remember this. Cari Festa, tan tan tan, Cari Festival. That was nice. Alright, and then this is something I've never seen before. This is Barbados actually has a Concord exhibit. If you read that, if you pause and read that plaque, you would see that this flight, this Concord, flew to Barbados, flew British people to Barbados, for tourism, and this plane is very significant for Barbados tourism. So they have a display. Alright, so after my 5-hour layover, we went back on the tarmac. That was the plane that I landed in Barbados on 5 hours prior, and now we're going on the American Airlines flight. See, it's the same airplane, Victor 2 Lima India Charlie, and now we're going up to the American Airlines plane. Now, this American airline in Ghana, we had the truck with the steps that go up to it, but here they have they have a ramp, which is interesting. I've never seen this ramp, this sort of thing before. I guess this is for ADA compliance. This is like, and I'm guessing a bunch of Americans, they might have bad knees and whatever, can't climb steps with suitcases, so they have ramps. Oh yes, speaking of Americans, there were a lot of Americans on this plane. Maybe not Americans, but not Caribbean people. So that was very, very interesting. Alright, let me not dox anybody or put anybody else on blast, so let's go to the takeoff. Alright, so here we are having the takeoff. Ignore the GoPro audio, I'm not sure what's going on with this thing, the audio just goes in and out. But, well, while we were getting the briefing, the flight attendant mentioned that you have to turn off your phones completely instead of putting it on airplane mode. I mean, that's reasonable, you hear that a lot, but then she said specifically, because we're in a foreign country, the laws are a bit different, so we have to abide by the laws, and or something along those lines, something along the lines of being in a foreign country. And I'm thinking, that's the norm. You don't have to explain to anyone that you're in a foreign country the laws are different. I mean, yes, this is American Airlines, and a lot of people on the planes were most likely Americans. I mean, I was going back to America, so you could. It was just weird, man. It was just weird how she said it, like, oh, because we're in a foreign country, like, yeah, you don't have to mention that. We all know we're in a foreign country. I mean, if the Americans came down, they would notice, oh, they're driving on the wrong side of the road. We're not in America or in American territory. But somehow that just rubbed me the wrong way, how she said, oh, we're in a foreign country, the laws are different. Like, it shouldn't have bothered me as much as it did, but it did. And it was like, why do you have to say that? It's obvious, it's like a duh. And I'm not sure if she's... Nah, that just rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, eek, made my skin crawl. Okay, something interesting about this flight is that we actually departed the island to the south. Then we did a right-hand turn. Let's see, that is a 180-degree turn to the right to head north. And as you see, there's the island on our right side again. And then we're heading up to North Carolina. Just a little clip of the sunset, how the sunset was showing on the airplane. The sunset looked blood red inside the airplane, but I didn't want to record anyone. I didn't want to put the camera inside showing anybody's sleeping faces, so that's how the sun looked on the outside of the airplane. Alright, and this is landing in North Carolina. I guess North Carolina has a lot of islands, because either islands or bush, because there was a lot of dark areas, which I assumed was water. Didn't occur to me that it could have been like trees and whatnot. Anyway, I ate one of my... Actually, at this time I ate both of my zingers, and I was wearing a face mask because, going on the plane, I did not wear one when that Haitian was coughing all over the place. One thing I learned about wearing the face mask is that you have to breathe heavier when you're wearing a face mask, because your your breathing is kind of obstructed. I learned this while it cleared immigration in North Carolina, and I had to go back through through TSA to get from North Carolina to DC, and of course I ran with my face mask, and I was like, I felt like Darth Vader. Well, I didn't sound like him, but I was wheezing. I was like, God, this is not good. But then after a while, my I got accustomed to it. I guess it's because I'm like accustomed to sleeping face down on my pillow. But after a while, I got accustomed to taking deep breaths. But running with the face mask on was not ideal. All right, this was landing in North Carolina. We have the next clips of taking off from North Carolina and arriving in Dallas. I have nothing much to say after that, so I guess we'll end here. Yeah, that was my failed spring break. Thanks for watching. Bye.